that we have done for the past 3 years. We made you go through the fire to become a diamond. Today, you have become a diamond. As a Biafran, you find yourself anywhere in Nigeria, you have become a diamond. And you must be very proud of yourself anywhere you are as a Biafran. Anywhere you are within the Nigeria state, you must be very proud of yourself, because your resilience has made you become a very precious stone within the Nigeria system. As a Biafran, I want you to be very proud of yourself going forward. We have conducted 4 successful days sit at home. Today was actually the highest in the history of our sit at home. Today recorded the highest compliance. I mean, even chicken was not in the street. Not even a fowl. And the worst part of it is that nobody even want to go out to make videos. The today sit at home is the highest of it all. What does that tell you? It tells you that Biafra government has defeated Nigeria. And it tells you also what to expect after the Biafra declaration in December. We will shock Nigeria and the world. I'm very, very happy that the result of the template to the liberation of Biafra is coming out to the public and to the world, especially to those who doubted our resolve from the beginning. You must remain fearless before your enemy. Our slogan, as you know, is freedom or die. The die is not for us, it's for the enemies. And I want everyone to understand that Nigeria has collapsed. I want to use this opportunity to send, on behalf of the Biafra government, our condolences to people in Maiduguri, people who have lost their loved one today under Nigeria in the name of protesting. I am sending my condolences on behalf of Biafra government to those in Maiduguri that lost their loved one. It may surprise you and shock you today that Nigeria Terrorist Air Force conducted air bombardment on people in Borno State, and they killed hundreds from airstrike. Did you hear it anywhere? I am asking you, did you hear it anywhere? Of course, you can't. So we send our condolences to the family that have lost their loved one in the air bombardment of the Nigeria Air Force today in Maiduguri. At the same time, we want to commend those in Gombe who actually stood their ground to fight. Even though we are not fighting and we're not protesting and we don't have the same ideology, but we have some kind of alliance. So the encouragement we will continue to give you. Those in Gombe, you must continue to stand very strong. They made sure that 3 ministries in Gombe was raised today. That is the consequences of the killings in those areas. In all this, we have made it very clear. Any day, anywhere, a Biafran become a victim, the Biafra Defense Forces must be standing by. We will move to the street. This is not going to disrupt our template to the liberation of Biafra. The resistance fighters, the Biafra Defense Forces, and the Biafra Liberation Army, you must be on standby. The Chief of Army Staff, Criminal Terrorist Staff, has issued a threat that they are watching and they will intervene. And I know that when they issue this threat of intervening, they are not intervening anything. The target is Biafrans. And this time around, we have army, we have defense forces that have stood, defended our land, killed them, neutralized them in numbers, and they know what we can do. So on this note, I am calling on all the fighters of Biafra forces, both those in the reserve and those that are very active in their command and bases, to stand by. When the order will be given for the street, it will not be public. So they don't know what is hitting them. While we continue our liberation struggle until November, we'll change the dynamic again. Our dynamics will be changing probably on a monthly basis. I told you people that the month of July will be a very interesting month that you can never forget. And I want you to take your memory back to the month of July. The history that we have created can never be wiped away when you talk about how Biafra fought their way out of Nigeria. July will everly live in the mind of these terrorists and their sponsors. In the month of August will be the double of the month of July. What it means is that you will hear news and news and news from Biafra land. We will never allow terrorists to breathe in our land. I want you to understand that we are not yet in the declaration stage. We have not declared Biafra yet. But our target and objective is to make sure that Nigeria will never breathe in our land to kill our women and children again and go free. The promise of this government of Biafra is that every Nigeria present will be neutralized in Biafra land. Every Nigeria present. I mean every Nigeria present, because Nigeria is evil, Nigeria is dead, and the earlier we eradicate death from our land, the better for us. Nigeria is dead. That is what Nigeria represents. Nigeria represents blood of innocent people. And Biafrans has paid the biggest price. I must thank all Biafrans for this particular loyalty and mandate given to the Biafra government in exile and the de facto government in homeland. I want you to understand that this is the very first time in the history that exile government have politically and civilly controlled its territory to a very highest degree. There has never been any time, even in those days when the freedom fighters were in very unity and in unison, where they embrace each other and come out, forget about their differences to fight. There has never been in the history where they have the kind of control over our territory like the Biafra government in exile today, the Biafra Republic government in exile. What that means is that we have defiled every strategy that Nigeria have used in the past and in present, and even in their future. We have been able to conduct self-referendum that is ongoing. The self-referendum have recorded 49 million. You know, when they had 30 million vote, they were surprised. How you don't mind them. One man was on the TV and was talking rubbish. Oh, now he claimed he has recorded 30 million vote. He also, you know, that he does palliative. And I want Sonny to get that video if you have it, so you can play it here. I want the listener to listen to that particular voice, where that man was making comment that Simon Ekpa is giving palliative. That's why people are listening to him. Also, he claimed he has gotten 30 million votes. Today we are 49 million. 49 million people of Biafra have voted and given us the power to speak for them and make decisions for them. That is the highest true democracy, which Nigeria and many African countries never offer their citizens the right to decide their future. We are bringing that particular true democracy to Africa. And the voting is still ongoing. And they were wondering, how is this guy, how is this government, how is this Biafra doing this thing? We are doing it because while you were busy talking rubbish on social media, we were busy researching on how to destroy Nigeria from within. Anywhere we want to see the visibility for Biafra to speak in a language Nigeria will never understand, in any part of Nigeria, we have the capability to do that. When people are saying, oh, why do you bring war into your doorstep? What you don't know is bigger than you. As we are fighting to exit, there are many people in the north that believe that the exit of Biafra will change their future for good. And we identify ourselves with them. We will stand shoulder to shoulder with these people in the north. I will not make any further statement. But let us watch how this whole protest goes. Like you know, the Biafra people can never ever protest for the betterment of Nigeria. But I am very, very glad, happy, and will be waiting when their terrorist army will be unleashed on the innocent people and let a Biafran who is in his shop or in her shop get killed. Then you will see madness. You know, they thought they are the only one who know what is violent. We will teach them what is violent. We will teach them that the self-defense, which is enshrined in international law, Biafra people know how to defend themselves, and we know how to activate those laws of self-defense. Like never before, where you will be wondering what is going on, just like you are wondering today. Some of them, you see them on social media, they are bragging. Simon Ekpa, hand will touch you soon. I don't have your time. But what I'm fighting is a just cause. I am fighting to defend the defenseless women and children of Biafra that has fallen victim of Nigeria for decades. Nobody has ever risen up to confront Nigeria the way we are doing today. And nobody will ever do. We are going to be the last. After I will be the end of Nigeria. Mark my word, because any day Biafra is declared and we fight against them and defend it, it means Nigeria is no longer existing. It does not matter whether the name Nigeria is retained by some people, but the name Nigeria, which Biafra was part of, will no longer exist. So I will be the end of Nigeria. It does not matter the threat. And those planning to come and attack Simon Ekpa somewhere, I will not speak further. But you know, you have tried 4 times. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. This is the 5th one. I am waiting for all of you. But my promise is that you will never go back. The spirit of Sisu is what we are using to fight against a terrorist state called Nigeria. It is a Sisu spirit, which only the Finns understand. I have come to know what is freedom. I have come to understand that freedom is precious. And one thing that makes me laugh sometimes is that I listen to these people and watch those people fighting for one Nigeria and I laugh. You can never fight one Nigeria like me. Would you believe that somebody like me was in the forefront of supporting Atiku in 2019? Even leading Atiku campaign in Europe. You can never be one Nigeria more than me in the past. So when I look at you today, dying for Nigeria, I just laugh. Because there are many things you don't know that if you do, you will ever regret going out to the street to protest for end bad governance. It's a waste of energy, waste of life, waste of resources, and channeling your energy to the wrong channel, which can never bring anything. Nigeria is not designed to be a better country. Nigeria was not formed to be a country where you are going to be competing with other nations. Every competition that is coming from Nigeria is individual competition. Individual competition in business, individual competition in sport, individual competition in academics, individual competition in everything. Nigeria does not have anything to compete with anybody or any country in anywhere in the world. And you know why? The agenda is caliphate-based agenda. In 1989, they had a conference in Abuja called Abuja Declaration. How many of these people in the street of Nigeria today, especially from the South, knows the content of Abuja Declaration of 1989? None of them. Even if they know, they think it doesn't matter. And that is exactly what the politicians have done. They decided to make sure that you are a dundee. You remain a fool. Oh God. Do you know what these people did to us? While other people in the world, other children in the world will be developing their brain in critical thinking in school, they will bring some certain things to make it form some object. From kindergarten, they will be telling them how to bring some object and make it form something to develop their critical thinking. In our own, in Nigeria, especially from the South, in the southern Nigeria, part of Nigeria. You know what they did? You know, many of you do not know why the Southeast, especially, is very, very powerful when it comes to 419. You don't know the reason. Do you know? It was deliberately designed for you to become a criminal if you are from the Southeast with your academic curriculum. Some of you do not understand this Makija music that is today, after how many years? It is now everybody is doing go. You do not understand what the music is all about. You do not understand what is called reader. Do you know in your primary school, you read reader? Many of you, do you remember what you read called reader? Do you know that everything in the reader was about tortoise? Mbe. How the tortoise was a very smart animal or is a very smart animal. How tortoise is cheating every other animal. in the animal kingdom, how tortoise will make sure that he cheat everyone and become successful in the animal kingdom. That was what they were teaching you in the Southeast, in your academic curriculum. Do you know why? That is the reason why you have 419 everywhere. That is the reason you see internet fraudsters everywhere from the Southeast. That is the reason why you see all the crimes about smartness, is because they taught you how to cheat, how to become something by cheating. Do you think that reader was being used in the North? The answer is no. I want you to refresh your memory back. What I'm telling you now, you can never think about what I'm telling you now, until now that I'm saying it. This Gogo was also how the tortoise went and deceived elephant.
All right, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back updates and information as see the world. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first who will collect them. All right, let's go down to the news proper as it is hot this morning. In Nigeria, as the protest continues, and some group have urged Tinubu to declare state of emergency. Tinubu has been urged to declare state of emergency in Nigeria, and this is coming from Abuja, from a civil society organization on community advancement and humanitarian empowerment initiative. He has said in order for President Bola Tinubu to appease citizens protesting, he must, as a matter of fact, urgently declare emergency on basic health and agricultural sectors. The group, in a statement by its Director General Kunle Yusuf on Friday in Abuja, said the present circumstances in Nigeria demand that federal government accelerate the process of reform that will hasten development for Nigerians to quickly begin to enjoy the diligence of democracy. He wants the federal government to consider reforms in the housing and retirement policies, including power and energy reforms. According to Yusuf, once food is affordable for Nigerians to feed their families and they have access to basic health care, the social apathy will decline drastically. We would like the president to review housing and retirement policies. When you are sure that at your retirement age you can have an affordable house to accommodate your family and functional pension scheme is in place. Certainly, this will further drag financial corruption to the minimum. Government should provide electricity and reaffirm hope for self-employed Nigerians. Electricity, fuel, and diesel are the immediate commodities that bind Nigerian masses together. Once there is energy sufficient at reasonable rate for artisans to deploy their skills into productive activities, there will be drastic reduction in pressure on social faultiness. The communication desk and community engagement unit in Mr. President's office should upscale performance on their duties and adopt work synergy among MDAs and their appointees to avoid administrative arrogance and conflict that may hinder the acceleration of 8-point agenda of this administration, the CSCHE boss said. Meanwhile, the CSCHE has appealed to Nigerians to embrace process reform, not commotion protest. He said presently, Nigeria's economic stability is not resilient to withstand national strike or prolonged public protest. It is on this note that the CSEHE appealed to leaders of the CSO, CBOs, NGOs, youth, students, and all other critical stakeholders to embrace negotiation and give the government more chance for most of their intervention to mature. It is imperative that government escalate action with appropriate quantum of intervention in order to diffuse the social faultiness to avoid aggravating the masses into further agitation, which always has a propensity to lead to social anarchy. We also want to use this opportunity to appeal to the state governors and local government council authorities to always give accurate information for the masses to know the intervention coming from federal government at the point in time appropriate dissemination of information is necessary, Yusuf stated. This one is coming from the people called the Society Organization of Community Advancement and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative. They are the one advising on this current strike. Well, I buy the idea of what the man said that the condition of the nation cannot be able to carry a prolonged protest because even though that people are angry, people are hungry, the governments themselves have already decided what is in their mind. Because we find out that the kind of government we have presently is kind of government that sees the people as their goat. It's not even a sheep because a shepherd knows how to take care of the sheep well, but you see someone that has goats. I think that's how the government officials are seeing the citizens or the leaders, because what they do is that they wake up one morning and make policies that will only benefit them themselves. I wonder how one man will be just making a policy that will just benefit him, forgetting the population of your country, forgetting your citizens, forgetting the people that voted you into power, even though that they were not the one that voted you into power, but they matter more in the country. And even though you buy your way into power, go there and prove to the people, okay, you bought your way and you are here to help the people. But these people are showing that they are there because they want to reap the people, and they have not relented in their action. Because looking at all the policies the present government has taken, you will find out that this present government have had made sure that the citizens were flogged, to the barest minimum. Now, as it dey be, there has been a circular. I said, suspend protest now, embrace dialogue. Adereboru tells youth. Adereboru has written to the youth saying that they should suspend the protest and seek dialogue. Meanwhile, my point is, when this protest was coming up and the government had that the citizens want to protest, and a date was fixed. This protest took like 2 weeks or 1 month thereabout after it was announced before the protest date that people started protesting. I thought that was the time that the government would have used to dialogue with the people, tell the people what they want to hear, because when people are planning for protest and they told you about the protest, they gave a date. I believe that telling you about the protest and giving a date for the protest is more like a warning to you, so that you can dialogue with these people. You can call them and want to know what is their mind. Why are they protesting? Why do they want to protest? Since they have given a date. So within the day of the announced date to the day of the beginning date, I think that should have been when the government should have called the planners of these protesters, called Nigerians. Now we have the help of the social media that whatever President Tinubu says in his room and decide to record it, the whole of Nigerians will hear it. Why did they not address Nigerians or look into the matters that have made the people to want to protest? Because if you look at the video of the protest and people who have been protesting, the goal of the matter, the talk of the moment has been, let the government restructure things, that the people are hungry, that what we used to buy 5 naira before, or what we used to buy 10 naira or 20 naira about 7 months ago, or about 1 year ago, or thereabout, we are now buying it like 500 naira now. And this is what all the citizens are crying for. Now, the government before bound the importation of things like rice or clicker, importation of motor, somehow in Nigeria, and they increase some of the stamp duty. They increase the clearing money. Now, you were not able to create first in your country a company that produces these things that you have banned, things like rice, importation of rice and the rest of them, and have been able to do what is called market survey to be able to find out how many bag of this rice are your people consuming in a month or in a day or in a year per year. Then now with it, you can judge with the factory you have produced for your people. You can judge with the factory you have produced for your people. And with this factory you have produced for your people, this is where you'll be able to know, okay, that whatever we have produced here can take the people. And without this survey, without looking at some of these things, government or the president will wake up one morning and tell you that the fuel subsidy is over. And it will be like a joke. You see the citizens talk about it, murmur about it, think that is a joke, that the president might change his mind. And you see that law becoming static. And they say we have a flexible constitution, but they themselves are leading the citizens in a rigid way. You can't wake up in the morning and implement a policy that will not favor the citizens. You are not the president on your own. You are not the governor on your own. You are not the prime minister on your own, or you are not the senate president on your own. You are there to implement policies that favor the people, because the main government are the people. They are the main government. When you talk about the government as a mercenary, it is just the few individuals who parastatals who are there working in the government. So these few individuals are the ones who are there working for the government. And they are the one reaping the nation, taking all the money, sending their children abroad, sending their children to Kofanchan. All of their children, no one is schooling in Nigeria. What happens to Nigeria's educational system? Why would your children not school in Nigeria? You see private universities toppling national university. Private universities toppling national universities. Private universities that are supposed to have some of the facilities that are needed in abundance. You see private universities becoming the highest. Because everything in private university, there is a risk scrutiny. Everything has been scrutinized. Many things that were supposed to be there have been put in place. But if you go to the national university, you will not find some of those things, because of the issue of IN and because of issue of putting people who are not supposed to be there. You see the government doing pick and choose IM, giving people who does not merit it what they did not merit, but they are there because maybe they know one person or the other. And that is not how the nation is supposed to be, because everybody is supposed to be scrutinized the same way, whether the poor man child or the big man child. Meanwhile, the protest continues and the people have demands that government should look into their matter, because there is hunger in the country. But the protesters has been advised, suspend protests now, embrace dialogue. Adegboruwa tells the youth. After 2 days of the End Bad Government protest, human rights lawyer Ebun Olu Adegboluwa has asked youth to immediately suspend the protest and embrace dialogue with the authorities. Mr. Adegboruwa, who is the lawyer to the Take It Back movement, one of the group that organized the demonstration, made this known in the post on his Facebook page on Friday. I appeal to the protesters to withdraw themselves from their various protest grounds and to suspend the protests immediately and indefinitely in order to give room for meaningful dialogue and engagement with the government. Given that the protests were said to have been hijacked by sponsored agents, it is necessary to avoid further losses and casualties. The organizers of the protest and their representatives should embrace dialogue with the government, he said. The senior lawyer regretted some deaths and losses recorded during the demonstration, saying those were not part of the goals of the protest. He expressed his sincere condolence to the employees and families of the security personnel and also the protesters, praying to God to comfort them and to grant them the fortitude to bear their irreparable loss. I can see the hand of fish in this matter because you are the lawyer of one of those people, one of the groups that organized the protest, and now you are calling off the protest, and the reason being that some other individuals have hijacked the protest, and this is why you are calling for the protest cease indefinitely. And I think these people think that Nigerians are good, or maybe Nigerians are people you can just you wake up in the morning, tell them to do this. You wake up in the morning and you see them, tell them to do that, and they do it. The people have planned the protest and they have agreed on how many days the protest is going to last. And second day to the protest is being called off by one of the lawyers, the barristers of the organizers. He said, let them call the protest off and go for a dialogue that some other bad individuals, bad egg in the market have hijacked the protest. There has been a recent kick against Ndigbo for not joining the present protests in Anambra, Ochanja, Main Market, Newi, building materials, everywhere. Everybody, they sell their markets, nobody send, they go out. They know they protest, people, they sell their market because the economy is already done, and Ndigbo said that the protest is not for them all. Say that one no being go solve problem. But if you look and true, if you look and from the right side of things, you will understand that protesting is not going to solve the problem of Nigeria because the government, if they are abolishing nature, if the government is abolishing nature and you are protesting, I think that you are making the matter worse. Because by the time the whole of Nigeria is shut down 10 days, the economy will be sinking down to the bottom of the pit because businesses are not moving and people are eating what they have gotten. And I think that the way is not the way of protest. I think is people standing up for their right the next coming election and making sure that do or die affair, a new government, pure government, and the person that the people want must be on the chair because that's one of the things. As it is, leave Igbo people alone, please. They don't want to protest because they will be made the scapegoat or killed too. Media personality Onyi Mike commented. Let's go down to the full detail of that information. Media personality Onyi Mike has asked that the Igbo community be left alone and not dragged into the ongoing protests against hunger in the country. Onyi Mike expressed concern that Igbo individuals might be unfairly targeted to become scapegoat during the demonstration. He emphasized the potential risk they face, including possible violence and fatal repercussions. Leave Igbo people alone, please. They don't want to protest because they will be made the scapegoat or two, Onyema stated emphatically in a recent social media post. I think what I saw in this word is what is called sarcasm. I saw that statement is very sarcastic in nature. But people think that Ndigbo are afraid of coming out for the protest. No, it's not because of the fear, but Ndigbo has wisened up. They have known that if you go out for protest, first of all, you are shutting down your economy. Secondly, your business is not going. Thirdly, there will be violence and there will be some looting. And on this looting, people will lose their businesses, people will lose their hard-earned money. Billions in every protest like this, millions are being lost. So Ndigbo has looked at it and they have seen that this kind of protest, when you bring it about in your state or in your city, it means that you are calling for the draining of that particular economy, because for the days of the protest, there will be what is called looting. The bad eggs who are there, even the bad eggs might not even have been paid by anybody, but there are some bad eggs who are looking for opportunity to venge out the demons that is inside them. So thereby you make this kind of protest possible. You see that you will be able to help those demons in these back areas to be able to have a way to express itself, and that will be resulting to looting, pushing back bank, burning down things, and the rest of them. And because Ndigbo has wisened up, they have decided that some of these things are not what they are supposed to participate in. Of course, there is another news. Of course. Another news. Tinubu government hired us for rally. Say no to protest.